Islam claims almost 2 billion people now. It's considered the fastest growing religion, not so much from proselytizing, but because Muslims tend to have a lot of children. And we tend to teach our children our religions. So we've got probably 1.7, 1.8 billion Muslims. It's almost, it's 1/5 of humanity. These are a lot of people who have some relationship with Islam. Christianity is the other religion that exceeds Muslims in numbers, and then Buddhism and Hinduism have very large numbers. Judaism is a much smaller religion, but very influential, especially on the Abrahamic faith. The three great proselytizing religions in human history are Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam. And part of the reason for that is they wanted to share their religion with other people. They believed that this was true, and they wanted to go out and take it. And also because in the case of Christianity and Islam, they were told to go. But the word in Arabic for telling people about your religion is traditionally called DAWAH, which literally means an invitation. An invitation is only real if it's open to rejection. And this is why the Quran clearly states, فَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ. Let whoever wants believe in this and whoever wants disbelieve in it. I mean, the Quran says there's consequences, but whether you believe in that or not is up to you. And so, La ikraha fid din is one of the great universal values of the Islamic tradition, that there's no coercion or compulsion in the religion. Duncan MacDonald, who was a great Islamic scholar, Duncan MacDonald said that the world will not be at peace until the three great militant and proselytizing religions come to some knowledge of one another: Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam. And there's great truth to that. Interfaith now is a security issue for states. It's become a security issue. The states that represent our peoples around the world have to be more interested in religion, because even though Time magazine declared God is dead about 55 years ago, God tends to ignore those declarations and come back again and again. These religions will not go away. We will only survive if we work together, helping one another. The Quran says, "Ta'awanu 'alal birri wa taqwa," to cooperate in righteousness and in piety, in dutiful piety, to cooperate. This verse was revealed about Muslims working with other people. It wasn't revealed about Muslims working with themselves. It was revealed to the Prophet about working with other peoples. So it's very strong. Now, one of the problems currently is that we have this crisis of Islam as this evil religion. And there are many people, unfortunately, in my country, in the West, in Europe, and increasingly in other parts of the world, like Burma, that are seeing Muslims as incompatible with their societies. Fortunately, the wisdom of this state here, Singapore, has rejected that narrative and has shown, I think, great wisdom that we can learn from as a people. But one of the things that I hear constantly is, why don't Muslims condemn these acts? And I can really assure you that since 9/11, that's about all I've been doing. And yet, people don't seem to be hearing the message, which led a professor, Dr. Todd Green, an associate professor at Iowa's Luther College, to write a book called Presumed Guilty: Why We Shouldn't Ask Muslims to Condemn Terrorism. In other words, Germans should not have to answer for Hitler. They're a different people than that time. The Christians should not have to answer for the Crusades. Catholics even should not have to answer for some of the crimes of some of their priests. And I feel like telling my Catholic friends, Catholicism is now being tainted with a heinous crime against children. That's not Catholicism. That's the acts of some people that have nothing to do with Catholicism, because they've broken every rule of Catholicism. And the same is true for us as Muslims. We reject entirely this idea that Islam has anything to do with terror. So I want to speak in broad strokes from a normative perspective. And what I mean is I'm not going to talk about descriptive Islam. I want to talk about Islam from a normative tradition that I'm a student of. My Sheikh Abdullah bin Bayya is a master of. He spent his life probably starting at about the age of 6 or 7 and now in his 80s of really completely committed to that tradition. So I want to look first at what is the central teaching of the Quran? And if we reduced it to a central teaching, one of the great scholars of Islam, Fakhruddin al-Razi, said all of Islam could be reduced to 2 words: devotion to the Creator and service to His creation. This is very similar to Rabbi Hillel, one of the great Jewish rabbis from 2,000 years ago, who said that all of the Torah is, love God, serve God, and serve the neighbor, take care of the neighbor. And everything else is commentary. That this is at the essence of our teachings, but often because of the nature of our teachings,